Today we're going to take a look at managing permissions of a group. This is going to be really relevant to you if you're a secretary and setting up or managing a group. First of all, you want to make sure you are operating as the correct user, so operating as, and you can change that here. And otherwise we're going to go straight to managing permissions, so you can do that using the button here, or you can go to the management drop down and select manage permissions. You can see here that this group has lots of different users who are contributing, and they have different levels of access for the group. We're going to first of all take a look at what those different access level means. Right at the bottom here we have users who are just associate users, and then it goes up to recorder, record controller if we go up here, and then deputy and principal. You can use the checkboxes to add and remove permissions with ease, and you can also remove members using the remove button here. First of all, an associate can view the data. If they just have this tick box here, that means they are just able to view the data. This is the default role granted by the application when adding new members to a group. This would be granted to all trainees and also to helpers that you trust with access to see the operating group account data. And you may wish to grant this role to interested parties such as local, neighbouring ringers, landowners or reserve managers. So this is really the default that anyone that's accessing Daemon will be able to get to, and you can't remove this permission from people. The next privilege level is recorder, and these users can enter data and they can edit the data that they have entered. Typically this would be granted to all C permit holders and any proven T permit holders and helpers who may be assisting with data entry. It should be noted that all new data that they enter or any edits made to existing data will be subject to review by a record controller. That next level up is the record controller. This user will have the authority to review data entered by other team members. They'll be able to set them for BTO processing, edit them or query them for reconsideration by the recorder. Typically this role would be granted to all A permit holders operating in a ringing group in order that they can action their own encounters for BTO processing. A record controller who is a trainer operating within a ringing group or partnership would be expected to be the person validating data entry by their own Cs and Ts. And a record controller can also validate data entered by other C and T permit holders, not just their own. The next level up is deputy. They can add and remove members to the operating group, and they can set and alter all of the rows that are below principal level. The principal of a large ringing group may wish to deputise one or more members to lighten the burden of managing their group, controlling membership and member roles, allocating rings to members, reviewing data flagged as ready before release to the national database. Typically, all members named in a registered ringing partnership other than the senior partner would have deputy status. A trainer with dependent Cs and Ts may wish to promote one of their team to deputy whilst they're away on holiday, or even add a trusted fellow A-ringer to their team. A group partnership or independent A permit holder may wish to allow a trusted fellow ringer or even a BTO staff member to join the team temporarily as a deputy in order to provide peer-to-peer help with sorting out problems. And finally, we have the principal level. So this user can add, remove members to and from operating groups and set and alter all of the roles. Typically in operating groups using rings issued against the permit number of an individual A permit, that A permit holder will be the principal. Typically in operating groups using rings issued against a formal ringing partnership, the principal will be the senior partner, and typically in operating groups using rings issued against a formal ringing group, then the principal will be the group secretary. In operating groups formed principally for nest recording with no rings issued directly in the group name, the principal will be the responsible individual chosen by the group for their ability to motivate the team and prepared to be the first point of contact with the Nest Record Scheme team at the BTO. These tick boxes work in a cascading way, so as soon as you upgrade someone to, say, a deputy who was previously a recorder, that will tick those boxes. You could not then untick record controller, that will untick both. So you're basically selecting the level at which you want that person to operate. It very simply is just a case of ticking and unticking the relevant box, and those permissions will immediately be granted. Now, you may also wish to remove and add members, or you more than certainly will want to. We can click remove here, and that comes up as deleted. It's important not to accidentally click the remove button because it does just simply straight away remove the user. And then to add a user, you can scroll down to the bottom and there's the blue button here, add user. So we'll click there. The user will be able to provide you with their user ID. All that they need to give you is the user ID. There is no need for them to give you their password or any additional information. We can type that user ID in, click add, and then go ahead and set them with the correct permissions. And it really is as simple as that. The main thing to remember is that all members will be given associate level of permissions, and then all of your C permit holders will be given recorder permissions. A permit holders will be record controllers. Anyone else who needs to be able to control and alter the roles of other members can be the deputy, and the secretary of the group will be the principal recorder. All of this information can also be found in the daemon manual, and if you do come across any issues or problems, make sure to email apps.daemon@bto.org.